we're starting off with War Games, which was part of the Survivor Series Premium Live event last year, and the use of the iconic match was a hit with fans. The show saw the Bloodline and the team of Bianca Belair, Asuka, Alexa Bliss, Mia Yim, and Becky Lynch win in War Games, and fans can expect plenty more of this match type. When Ringside News reached out to inquire about WWE's plans for another War Games match, a source in creative said that the match will be returning this year. In fact, the match is going to be considered an annual tradition of Survivor Series moving forward, or at least until WWE decides to go in a different direction. The War Games match replaced the brand warfare theme of previous year's Survivor Series shows, which Triple H admitted on the press conference had simply gotten stale. With Survivor Series 4 months away, no names have been confirmed for either of this year's War Games matches, but the iconic double cage structure will be returning later this year. During this week's Raw, Zoe Stark came up short against Becky Lynch in a match that has earned Lynch a match with Trish Stratus at SummerSlam. At ringside, the Canadian Hall of Famer was far from thrilled at the idea of facing Lynch again, and this may lead to the end of her pairing with Stark. In a video shared to social media, the pair were seen arguing backstage, and while no dialogue was heard, it's clear that there are issues between Stratus and her protege. Many believe that Trish's latest run in the ring will end at SummerSlam, meaning that this pairing would be over soon enough anyway, and WWE are now looking to establish Stark on her own. Since being called up to the main roster, Stark has been featured prominently on TV thanks to her alliance with Trish, but now the real question will be how she fares when the Hall of Famer is no longer part of the picture. Over to NXT now, and it was a few weeks ago that Blair Davenport was revealed as the mysterious figure who had been attacking the women's roster and has since been feuding with Roxanne Perez. Last week it was confirmed that the pair will face off in a Weapons Wild match at Great American Bash, but Perez isn't waiting until this weekend's show to get her hands on Davenport. On this week's NXT, Perez took the fight to Blair outside the arena, attacking her nemesis in a corner store and sending her through dining chairs and tables. The footage was recorded by a person in the store and caught in security cameras, and NXT would share footage of Perez blindsiding her Great American Bash opponent on TV. Perez is a former NXT Women's Champion but has been out of the title picture for some time now, and we'll have to see if the winner of the Weapons Wild match will be in line for a title shot after Great American Bash. It's been over 14 months since fans last saw Randy Orton compete in a WWE ring, and while there have been reports of an imminent return, we're yet to see the Viper back on TV. This week, Orton broke his silence on social media but didn't address his wrestling future, and instead commented on Instagram on his wife Kim's gardening skills. Some have said that Orton's return will be at SummerSlam, though WWE is unsurprisingly not confirming those reports, and whenever he's back, Orton will have been eating right thanks to his wife's fruits and veggies. Cody Rhodes knows a thing or two about lengthy absences, as he missed most of 2022 due to a torn pectoral, but that didn't stop him facing Seth Rollins inside Hell in a Cell. This match was the third Premium Live event bout between the two, after facing off at WrestleMania 38 and WrestleMania Backlash, and Cody is done facing off against the Architect. Sitting down with Chris Van Vliet, Rhodes talked about his relationship with Rollins and said he doesn't think the pair will ever see eye to eye. With that said, Rhodes appreciated what Rollins did for him upon returning to WWE last year, adding that he couldn't ask for a better sparring partner in that sense. Rhodes also confirmed that he doesn't want to wrestle Seth ever again, presumably believing that another match between them couldn't live up to what the pair achieved last year. Cody has a lot of respect for Seth and his World Heavyweight title, but said that winning the gold wouldn't be finishing the story, so don't expect the pair to ever face off again if Rhodes can help it. Over to AEW now, as Jeff Hardy returned to TV in April after a lengthy suspension due to his DUI, one that forced Tony Khan to make it clear that this is Jeff's last chance. Last month, Jeff was written off TV at the hands of Juice Robinson, which came after the Hardys lost to the Guns on Dynamite. And what does the future hold for the charismatic Enigma? In an interview with Muscle Man Malcolm, Hardy was asked about his future plans in AEW and spoke about wanting to elevate his status back up the card. He explained, "It's a constant battle for me to elevate myself back to the Dynamite show. Hopefully, eventually, Rampage is kind of the B show, but you just go out there and give the people what they want and get their money's worth. Naturally, the ultimate goal is for myself and Matt is the AEW World Tag Team Championships. We were so close before I got myself in a hell of a mess that I got myself into, but now that I'm coming out of that, it's within reach. we're using the Rampage moments to hopefully, eventually, create huge Dynamite moments. While Jeff remains popular with fans, there are some who are skeptical of his return to AEW, believing that it is just a matter of time before he has another controversy to his name. Prior to his suspension, AEW had plans for the Hardys to win the tag titles, but it's unclear if that's still the idea. And for now, Jeff is focused on proving he can be trusted to make huge Dynamite moments. When Charly Caruso left WWE, the former backstage interviewer made her views on several matters clear, including her opposition to the COVID-19 vaccine. This week, Bronny James, the son of LeBron James, went into cardiac arrest, and while he is stable now, things were looking scary for a while. On Twitter, Caruso hinted that the vaccine was to blame for what transpired, saying that your young, healthy athletes like James should not be going into cardiac arrest. When a fan asked about Caruso's statement, the former WWE employee confirmed she was talking about the vaccine, saying she's always been anti-vax, but was never able to say it out loud until now. Cardiac arrest among players is rare but not unheard of, as Marymount player Hank Gathers collapsed after a famous slam dunk in 1990, with causes including myocarditis or inflammation of the heart muscle. James is thankfully out of the ICU and is expected to recover, while Caruso will continue to have her thoughts on the matter, and we'd like to wish the 18-year-old basketball prodigy a full recovery. It's no secret that WWE have had their eye on several names outside the company, including stars in AEW, but one name they won't be getting their hands on at this time is Roosh. This week, it was confirmed that Roosh has signed a new deal with AEW, and it was also confirmed that AEW has shown interest in him in the past. On Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer stated it's unknown what kind of deal Roosh has now with AEW, but his first deal with the company was for 1 year because he wanted to prove himself. We'll have to see how much longer AEW will have Roosh around and how they'll use him, but Tony Khan will no doubt be happy to keep the talented star around and far, far away from WWE. And we're ending today with Sami Zayn, who despite his best efforts and the home field advantage, came up short against Roman Reigns at the Elimination Chamber event in Montreal in February. Many at the time felt like this was the wrong call, as Zayn's popularity was at its peak at the time, but Sami doesn't believe that his chance to be a world champion is over just yet. Speaking to Xfinity, Sami said that it would have been a storybook ending to dethrone Reigns in Montreal, but is very pleased with what he did with the Usos at WrestleMania 39. Zayn went on to say that fans just need to give the story time, and compared his loss to Reigns to Brock Lesnar breaking the streak of The Undertaker, saying it takes time to see the full story play out. As for what that story will be, Zayn said that his loss to Reigns in Elimination Chamber could be chapter 1 of a tale that ends with him becoming world champion, a lifelong dream of the Canadian. Sami Zayn isn't in the world title picture right now, but that could always change. And do you see Zayn one day winning the big one? Let us know in the comments.